Seasonal depression is officially over. We're back.
Back to just depression.
Yes, now we know that, like, I'm the problem.
Welcome back to Everything and Nothing. Feels like it's been so fucking long since we sat on this sofa and recorded an episode of this. I think I've written episode 21 on here. I don't know if that's correct or not. I don't think it is.
Guys, I don't know. It's been weeks.
I feel like it maybe 21, 22, around that, if I had to guess. But anyway, we're back. Just a heads up. Before we start the episode, you probably noticed already.
Yeah.
It goes back to our New Year's resolution and shit, where I was talking about just sorting myself out, looking after myself a bit more. I've got Invisalign now, so I'm talking with a little bit of a lisp, as you can hear, because I've got them in right now. Like, hello. I don't know if you can see them on the camera anyway, but yeah. So if I sound a bit lispy, that's why.
He's gone to Turkey.
Yeah, no, I've actually done the opposite of going to Turkey. I'll probably have a worse lisp if I went to Turkey. The way that you struggled to say that then was quite funny. Sorry, guys. Sizzling
That's comedic
sausages.
timing at its finest. But don't worry, guys, I don't have a lisp. So you just have to deal with Ben's for now. Well, I say for now, it will be for the foreseeable.
For the next, 6 months or so. But I don't...
So, no biggie.
I don't know if... Because the ones I've got currently in, I've literally just started it. So the one that I've got in currently isn't one attached on with the fixtures to my teeth. So I don't know if they're all going to be the same in terms of how they're fit in my mouth, whether the plastic's going to go as far up on the back as the rest
this
of them
specific one might just be given gum shield, you know?
Yeah. This one practically is literally a gum shield, which is why I sound like I'm talking with a lisp, because my tongue it feels really weird as well, because it's just your teeth feel normal, but then obviously the way your tongue touches your teeth, I feel like I've got plastic teeth right now, and it's really, really
so
weird.
So you feel like you've got turkey teeth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, guys, you're going to have to listen and not judge.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Yeah, please don't.
So just don't say anything, otherwise he's going to be really upset. just pretend that there's nothing different, okay?
But yeah, we're back today. Nothing has been happening in the world. There have been a few things, but which we'll get into in the episode, but... We was meant to bulk record today, and I don't even know if we're going to end up doing that because we struggled to put this episode together. We've got some funny things planned, but yeah, it's the world is in terms of pop culture shit at the moment, stuff that actually of substance to talk about. Well, you wanted to talk about Severance, but I haven't watched it.
Guys, I could talk about Severance for hours, but I'm not gonna waste my breath on it for too long because Ben hasn't watched it. But if you know, you know. Damn. I've been watching that religiously and it's so good.
I am going to watch it though, and when we do, we're going to dive into Severance theories and all that stuff. Probably just talk about the show in general. Yeah. And shit like that.
I think you'll need to watch it soon because we're on episode 7 out of 10 on season 2, and I guess the thing is they're making they're making a season 3, so season 2 is probably going to end on a cliffhanger anyway, so I guess we can still discuss theories after then because we probably will still have questions. I feel like every episode I watch, it just ends with me having more questions.
It's like a thriller, isn't it?
Yeah, nothing really gets answered too much as you go. It's confusing. But anyway, guys, if you haven't watched it, please watch it. It's really, really good, and I truly think you will like it. Yeah,
one thing you probably... The thing is, it's one of them things where I know if you sat down and watched it, you probably actually would like it, but you just won't watch it. Is Invincible. Invincible is really, really fucking good.
What's Invincible about?
Hear me out, because it's in an anime style. It's it's not Japanese though, it's American. It's got the I think his name's J.K. Simmons or something like that. It's the guy in he plays the head of the newspaper company in Spider-Man. If you've ever seen... Okay, anyway.
Guys, I don't watch films. No. Sorry. Someone last night asked me what my favourite film was, and I genuinely didn't have an answer. I was just I don't know. I never watch films.
Anyway, it's a superhero thing, basically, about a... I'm trying to not spoil it for people that haven't watched it. About a kid who inherits superpowers from his dad, because his dad is... he's not from Earth, but he's basically a human. Looks like a human, talks like a human, but he's not actually from Earth. He's from this other planet. And it's really hard to tell you why it's good without spoiling it, but it's good. It's good. The whole show in general is just about it really plays on the moralities of being a superhero and stuff, trying to have an ordinary life while trying to, because he's 18, 19 in the show, while trying to obviously when something goes wrong, when shit goes left, he's got to go and save the world and all that shit. And I'm gonna have to spoil season 1 a little bit,
Guys, if you don't want to know spoilers, then
just turn away
skip.
in 3, 2, 1. In season 1, the villain is his dad.
But you don't know that.
You know it before Mark, the main character, knows
Realizes
it in the show.
Okay.
But you also don't know it from the jump. It gets revealed to you slowly. So it's kind of like for the whole series, like you kind of know he's doing something shady, but for half of it, it could be like, oh, but he's doing it in favor of Mark or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's all this blurred line shit. So it's like the dad becomes like an anti-hero in the thing because it's like he's playing a double life and all. It's just really, really fucking good. And like the fight scenes and shit, like the animation of it's really, really cool.
And it's a series.
Yeah, it's a series on.
What's it on?
On Prime. But you should probably.
You definitely watch it anyway.
Yeah, you definitely should not watch it on other sites.
You definitely shouldn't pirate it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't steal what was it? Like you wouldn't steal a car.
Someone give me some pirate links so that I can avoid them.
Yeah, so that I can definitely not endorse them.
But yeah, that's one thing I've been watching. And I'm also watching a thing on Netflix right now. It's another anime. Again, I don't think if it is in Japanese, I apologize because I haven't. It's automatically put it in English. And I've been watching it in fucking English. But there's this thing called Pantheon, which I was like, because I was looking for something to watch on Netflix. I was like, fuck it, what should I start? And I saw it, and I just literally I was like, oh, it looks okay, so I'm going to Google it to see what the rating is. And I think on IMDb or on something, I don't know if it was one episode or the whole series, it had like 100%.
Really?
So I was like, fuck, I'm going to watch this. And to be fair, I've been watching it so far. And I think it's going to be really, really good. But the first few episodes are just confusing because they have to set the scene for so much. The setting of it is they live in a world where big tech companies it's kind of scary because of how AI is going and stuff. But rather than it being AI, it's like really, really smart humans that are already good at like programming, coding, maths, solving problems and all that shit, like logic shit. Basically, I still, because it's not fully revealed, I still don't really know how it works, but you can, they basically upload that person's brain, and the brain is like, so it's like them living inside a computer kind of thing, but they're all digital and stuff, but it is still like a person. And basically the people that has happened to, want to like escape because they're still people and they're made to like solve problems and do this AI shit. But to do that, like it requires a bit of emotion. So they kind of like all these tech people try and control like how much emotion it gives it. But the more emotion it gives it, it makes them want to be a person and like escape this thing.
This is very similar to a lot of theories that people have about Severance.
Yeah. So if you'd probably fucking like it. It's
really
Pantheon
similar.
on Netflix.
Yeah.
I'm 4 episodes deep into it so far, and there's a lot more to it than that. Like that's a very basic concept. Like there's so many moving parts with so many different people, and it's all this like tech shit. It's really, really fucking cool though.
Guys, you have some good recommendations there from us, so please watch them. The weather's getting better, people are going outside more, but if you were still one of those that's a bit of a hermit crab, then there's some good series for you to binge watch. Yeah, I mean, it's sunny out. Guys, anyone who's watching this on YouTube, not listening to us, you can see, look at that golden, look there. Yeah,
we're actually recording it in the daytime for once, at the weekend.
Yeah, so behind Ben, where the window is, the big window, we got golden hour.
Yeah.
It's looking great. It's looking nice. I mean, guys, 15 degrees in London this Sunday, it's meant to be.
Yeah, it hasn't been that for a minute. I've been waking up, like, for the longest time, like, my heating's just been set to like the automatic, like come on this time, turn off this time, whatever. Last few days been waking up fucking like boiling. I've had to just turn my heating off entirely because these windows are like fucking, it's like a greenhouse in here.
Seasonal depression is officially over. We're back.
Now it's back to just depression.
Yeah, now it's back to just fighting.
It's just remove seasonal
fighting
from it.
the regular demons, but
now
at least it's sunny, so counting my blessings, really counting my blessings, truly.
Yeah, now we've realised it's not just the weather. But
yes, now we know that like I'm the problem, not the weather.
Facts.
Unfortunately.
One thing I was going to say, leading on from like us talking about the plots of TV shows and all this shit, right before this, Lex was telling me about an interesting, fucking scary dream / nightmare that she had. And she was telling me it. I was like, bro, save this because this is, it's interesting as fuck. So I know the start of it, but yeah.
Guys, it gets deep. Trigger warning. This is actually like scary, this dream I had. And I've spoke about this on the pod before that I have weird dreams. And sometimes they make sense with what's going on in my life. Sometimes they just don't. Maybe sometimes they do and I don't realize, because there's loads of like things online that say about like what dreams kind of link to in terms of like emotions and what's going on in your life. But I'm going to get straight into it, you know. So basically,
just before you just before you start, bouncing off of what you said about like whether the dream meaning shit, whether it means shit or doesn't shit. I thought for the longest time, right, that it was just complete bullshit. I was like, no, there's no way that like they can actually mean shit, until I met you and you started telling me about your dreams and how like they were so visible with like what was actually, because they were all, you know how sometimes like when people say that stuff, you think like, oh, like they think if you see a fucking, I don't know, like a crocodile in your dream, it means this or whatever. Yours was literally like, I'm worrying about this thing, and in my dream, this thing is trying to kill me.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway,
or like, and this is a separate dream, but even just like little things going on in my life. Like the other day, I had a dream that I was on a cruise ship with the Love Island cast, and we were figuring out like there were things to do with Severance that we were like figuring out. I won't go into too much detail, but that was because like I watched Severance just before I slept. Yeah. I would have seen like Love Island TikToks.
You always have this cruise ship thing. You've had this so many times.
Guys, a cruise ship is a reoccurring theme in my dreams. I don't know why. I don't know what it means. I don't really like the sea, so maybe something to do with that.
Yeah, I fucking hate the sea.
The sea is scary. I like swimming. I don't like the sea.
Yeah, I like the sea until you can't tell me what the fuck is underneath me.
Same,
and I can't see it.
Same, because I've been like on holiday. I'm going to go on such a tangent here. This is a quick one, guys. I've been on holiday where the water's been clear. Like I've been on a boat trip, and I can go in the sea then because I can see the sand, like the sea bed underneath me. So I know exactly what's around me to an extent.
Yeah.
Whereas like UK sea.
Yeah.
Nah.
I know.
That's a write-off. Like, it literally, what the hell is underneath me there?
For me, I know the exact point where this fear stemmed from as well. I was on a holiday, again, quickly, on a holiday in Cyprus, right? And you know, obviously in Cyprus, that fucking, like, water is clear as shit. Like, you don't have to put your head under to see anything under it, right? And I remember, like, it was so shallow, and it went out for ages. Like a bank. I was just walking out, playing whatever, just playing with, like, my brother or whatever in the sea, blah, blah, blah. Went for a bit of a swim. And I looked down, and it was literally just blue, like just deep, dark blue. And I wasn't that far out to sea. Like I could still see the beach and stuff. I must have been maybe like 50, 60 meters away from like the actual shore. And I just remember like swimming back, like what the fuck, and then like putting my feet on the ground and being like, at the time I didn't think anything of it, but since that day, whenever I've seen that just deep fucking blue,
where it just kind of goes across and then down, for like I've miles.
We had a discussion at work the other day that was. Well, Lawrence was talking about when he was talking about the same thing, and Lawrence was saying that he was on like a boat trip somewhere, and they took you into like some cave thing, and he was like, oh yeah, you could kind of like see this cave go like all the way fucking down, like how it's just like all these rocky edges and stuff, but you could see like how far down. And I was like, I would prefer that so much to just avoid
like black.
I was
like nothing.
Have you ever seen that really I don't know what it is. It's like obviously must be some sort of training for like diving and shit. But it's like a pool. There's all this underwater like buildings and shit and like rocks and stuff like that. To me, like fucking. If I can see it all, I'm literally calm with underwater. Like it is what it is.
Yeah.
The second that there's just that blue void.
Well, yeah, because it's just like the unknown. It's just scatty, isn't it?
Yeah.
But anyway, right. So those kind of dreams, yes, they have some sort of link to my life. Maybe not cruise ships. I don't know why cruise ships keep coming up.
Let's hope this one doesn't have a link to your life.
This one is actually deep, guys. When I tell you this, I feel like you're probably going to think
this
is
a nightmare. This isn't even a dream. This is an actual nightmare.
And I didn't even wake up throughout any of this. So like, why was I so weirdly calm in this dream? I don't know. So I'm going to go straight into it. There was stuff that led up to this point that I'm about to talk about, but it kind of wasn't relevant. There was just random things going on. I had a dream that I got killed by guillotine. So I think I was punished for something. I don't know what, but I was told I was going to be killed by guillotine.
Yeah.
I weirdly didn't mind. I was I was like scared, but I was just like, whatever.
Like, finally.
Like, fuck. I just like kind of accepted my fate. And then the way that it worked was I was laying down ready, and then another person who was also being killed by guillotine had to lay on their stomach so I was laying on my stomach ready to literally be killed. Okay.
Yeah.
Then another guy had to like lay on top of me, also stomach down, and he was also getting killed by guillotine, but we were getting killed together. So like by the same guillotine at the same time. Like it was going to have to go through me and then through him and then through me underneath.
What the fuck? Or just some random guy?
Some random guy that was also getting killed. So that alone is really weird, right?
Yeah.
The other point is most people then wake up when they think they're going to die in their dream. So like, you know, if you have a thing where you're like falling, you normally wake up before you hit the ground kind of thing.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up when I got killed. So in my dream, I was like experiencing in my head dying and like understanding what was going on as I was dying. And it went, and I know normally, I think I saw a thing online that said you still have consciousness for like a few seconds or something if you get decapitated. Don't ask why I have heard that. I can't actually give you an answer. It's just one of those weird things. And I remember in my dream, I had like a few seconds of consciousness after I had been killed, and I managed to shout to my mum that I loved her and like said goodbye. So I could somehow speak, even though my head was not attached to my body.
Yeah, you literally don't have a throat.
I literally don't have like my vocal cords are severed. I still somehow shouted to my mum that I loved her and that like goodbye, having been killed. Then I experienced death in my dream, and it was just nothing. It was just black.
Just
like,
black void.
It was just nothing, but I was, I guess, conscious because I was dreaming and thinking about it, but there was nothing. Like, it was like I was conscious, but I don't know. I was just, there was just nothing. But I remember it all. I remember just being in this like void. And then, guys, it gets weirder. If you think this is strange, there's more.
Yeah.
So I'm in this void, but somehow conscious, and I'm just really chill with it. I'm just like, well, that sucks, but like, I guess this is it. Yeah. I'm just dead. And then, next thing I know, I'm back in the room where I've just been killed. The person that killed me then told me that I was actually innocent for whatever I was being punished for, and they had stitched my head back onto my body.
What?
So I had stitches all
Frankenstein, like all around your neck.
All around my neck. They had stitched my head back onto my body, and I was just back alive again. Calm. I was just back alive again. And they were like, you've been dead for X amount of time. Yeah. Because it was like a while, because they obviously had to fix me. You've been dead for X amount of time, but you're back. Like, you were wrongfully accused of whatever I did. I don't know what it was. And my mum was there, and like some of my friends. And my mum knew that I was going to get killed, but none of my friends knew that any of it was happening. And I had to explain to them why I had stitches all around my neck. Yeah. And I was like, I just was killed. I just died, and now I'm back. And they were like, not even, they were more like, why did you not tell us that you were getting killed so we could say goodbye to you? And I was like, I just didn't want to freak you out. Like, I just wanted to get it done with. And they were all so annoyed at me.
Was I there? Was I one of them?
No, it was only, sorry. It was only some of my home friends, like maybe like 5 of my like home girl mates. Yeah. And they were all just like, why did you not tell us you were getting killed? They weren't even like grateful that I was back. They were like, why did you not tell us? Why did you not say goodbye to us? And my thing was, I just didn't want to stress you out. Like, I just wanted to go and get it done with, and like that would be it. Like, and they were so annoyed, and I had to just live my life with this massive ring of like fat stitches all around my neck. Then, completely unrelated to this, I like went home the next day, still like had all of this happened. Yeah. Then there was like, this is completely unrelated, by the way. Yeah. Like, I don't even know. We suddenly move on from that narrative, although I still have the stitches. I'm in bed. My mum is looking after me because I'm like literally so frail. I'm like, I've just literally come back from the dead. Yeah. And then there's this weird like bug thing in my bed, and I keep trying to pick it up and throw it out my window. And then I don't even know how this happens. This bug then turns into a dog outside my window. What? And then my mum starts like playing with this dog, being like, oh my God, like this is a gift from above for you. Like they've turned into a dog, like a friend for you. And I was like, it was just this like horrible bedbug looking thing. And it's turned into this really cute dog.
Yeah.
My main concern was like, what breed even is this dog? It's just come from like a bug. Like what even is going on?
Also, I'm laughing at the fact that because in the dream, for context, Lexie at home
I've got
with her mum
loads of dogs.
has 5 dogs. So the fact that in her dream her mum was like, oh look, no way, a gift from like the gods or whatever, it's another dog.
Yeah, basically being like, oh, it's a miracle, like they're gifting it to you for everything you've gone through. It's another dog and this is your dog.
Oh, that's funny.
But this dog was like fully conscious, as in like, I don't think it could speak, but it could like really understand what was going on. So like my granddad was there. Guys, my granddad was involved in this dream. I remember we were in my home bungalow, and my granddad was speaking to this dog, and this dog was understanding fully what was going on. And I was just thinking, you were like an insect like a minute ago.
Yeah.
What is going on? And I also like, what is happening? What I've had my head stitched back on. I've experienced death and I've come back to life.
And now you've got a new dog fucking yapping and running around.
I've got
the
a
other
new
5.
dog here. My friends didn't even care that I was dead.
Did they name it in a dream?
No, I don't know.
Oh.
I woke back up eventually.
Oh,
But that was because my alarm went off. So I didn't wake up throughout any of this. My friends didn't care that I was dead. They were just annoyed at me that I didn't tell them that I was being killed. Yeah. And they weren't even like, oh, like at least you're back. Like they were just like, whatever. Like you should have told us that you were getting killed.
What the fuck?
And then I had this weird dog that turned from an insect that was now in my house, like communicating with my granddad and
telepathically talking to your granddad.
and then my alarm went off.
That is really fucking strange. The fact that
I know.
I was gonna. I mean, you explained it, but I was wondering.
Have I lost the plot, guys?
I don't think it's one of them things that just sounds normal for a dream, but it's also the fucked up part is just that you didn't wake up when you died, innit? I think that's the part that's really weird.
I wouldn't even say that sounds normal, mate. I literally got killed by guillotine, and then had my head stitched.
Yeah, but like people, like you said, when people
really,
die in
really
dreams is when you normally wake up. Like people do all sorts of shit, like fall off buildings and shit, and fucking as they fall and wake up or whatever, or as they hit the floor, wake up and stuff like that. Like
yeah, but I didn't. I literally experienced me dying completely. And like when I came back to life...
Could you kind of like remember what it felt like the guillotine like actually beheading you?
I can... Not the feeling, but I can picture... Because this is another thing. My dreams are really, really visual. So I can remember how everything looks. Like I can remember... literally everything. I can remember the room that I was in. I was inside a room getting guillotined.
So funny that it's just some random other geezer as well. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, he's got to lay on top of you.
I don't know who this guy is. I mean, God bless him. I don't know if he survived. Or I don't know. But I remember so vividly being led there. Guys, like not sound morbid. I can even picture when the guillotine hit the guy above me, like the blood. Like I'm not joking. I remember everything about it.
Yeah, but maybe our viewers don't need to know everything.
You cut that bit out if you want. But everything about my dreams is so visual. Like I can remember like shouting to my mum from my head after just being killed, like my final words to her. Yeah, and then like when I came back, I remember her being like, oh, what was it like? Asking me about what death was like and what it felt like. And I was just like, I just told her that it felt like nothing. There was just there was literally no, it was just a void, the dark, like nothingness. Yeah. And that was it, which is weird.
That is really weird.
So weird. And like I was conscious, but experiencing non-consciousness. Because obviously I'm dead in my dream, but I'm experiencing it.
And you're also asleep, so you're not unconscious, but like...
Yeah, it's like my subconscious experiencing what not having a consciousness
Yeah, your subconscious... Like. Yeah, that is really fucking weird when you put it like that.
And it was just like a dark void. Like there was literally just nothing. And then it was like I just snapped back into the room and they were like...
You've been fixed.
We're really sorry. Fuck. You're probably going to be stuck with these stitches. Like...
Yeah, that's
mental.
I think we ever talked about it before? I feel like we have for some reason or touched along the lines of that topic, but like fucking people who get like capital punishment and then later found innocent is like the peakiest thing. Fucking it's like Green Mile, that movie. But I sort of like half gasped in that when you were doing it because you reminded me, you know, when I was like, oh, I've watched another series before Invincible. It was BoJack Horseman. The reason you were saying,
I know what you're going to say. The view from halfway down.
Well, that is part of it, but also the ending of the show. I'm going to try and not spoil it. I'm just going to talk about the way it happened. Like, basically, when the finale of the show came out, a lot of people were like underwhelmed with like the finale of it and stuff. And without spoiling it, basically throughout it, there is a potential love interest for BoJack throughout the whole thing, or at least just like a really close friendship or whatever. Like, they're two like main characters. Bunch of shit happens in the show, whatever, and they get to the end and they're at this someone else's wedding and they go outside to talk. And I'm not going to go into what they talk about or whatever, but like in most series and stuff, this would be where it's like the ending either goes completely one way or completely the other way. It's like a really cinematic thing and kind of ties a knot on the thing, whatever. The series just kind of ends on like they just kind of have a conversation and the series just ends. And everyone's a bit like, what the fuck? And it's because it's like, it kind of it's a, what's the word for it? Kind of like how it's like reflective of like actual life. Like, it's not a big cinematic thing. Like, shit happens and then the next day just happens.
It's not like a climax kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's just like
life just goes on and stuff like that. But then also in the View from Halfway Down episode as well, it also plays on that thing how of like when you die, like, I mean, no one's ever gonna know, but like how it is just nothing. The episode after that one, after View from Halfway Down, is like, it actually like changes your chemistry and how you think about life. But it can also it's bad though, because it can go two ways, because it's like, what is the fucking point of anything? But then also on the flip side of that, on the flip side of that, it's like you just do everything before. It's just, you can't, you know, and shit like that. Like, I've explained that horribly, but what you were saying there about how like, it's just fucking nut. I actually think that's scarier to me than any form of weird dream you see and shit, light at the end of the tunnel, this, that, the other, afterlife, reincarnation, anything. Just fucking nothing is like, what? Yeah,
that's basically what I experienced. It was just nothing. But I was weirdly at peace with it. Like, I was sad to leave everyone, as deep as that sounds.
Yeah.
But like, once it was done and I was just in that nothingness, I weirdly was okay with it. Yeah. Which I think maybe is why I didn't wake up, because there wasn't that shock factor of like, I'm falling and I'm hitting the ground and it's like I was just like, I don't know, I was just like cool with it. Maybe that in itself is the message that my brain was trying to tell me, guys. Not that I'm not
You're ready for death.
Not that I'm ready for death, but I don't know, some sort of acceptance of something, but I don't really know what. Guys, if any of you want to break that down, let me know what I'm thinking about, what this could mean. If I've lost the plot, just tell me. I'd like to know, because like, how do I even explain that?
Yeah, I always think about as well, especially after shit like the fucking that BoJack episode and stuff like that, is like, I can't remember what it was. I saw ages ago on TikTok a video, or I don't know, it was a podcast of some kind. I don't know who it was who said it or what podcast it was on, which is really helpful. But kind of like the whole thing on the topic of like how shit can just like, death just kind of like, it just puts a stop to everything or whatever. It's kind of like, at the end of like every single day, what is it he says? He's like, basically, if today, for example, when you go to bed today, was like, you know beforehand, actually no, not even if you know beforehand, just today is the last day that you live, whether you go to bed and you just pass in your sleep or whatever, it's like, would you be happy with your life if you lived before that and shit? And I try to think about that a lot, and it's like, because it makes you want to think like, oh, yeah, the whole thing of like, oh, live every day like it's like your last day or whatever, but you just physically can't.
Yeah.
It's such a weird thing not knowing how life's going to turn out or whatever, and, you know, I could step outside my flat tomorrow and get hit by a fucking bike or whatever, or bus, and
yeah,
boom.
people just presume that they have a lot of time.
Yeah, and the whole thing of like knowing that it's uncertainty of
it's
it.
that whole thing of like tomorrow is never promised, but people don't remember that.
Yeah, but then the whole thing of as well of like, I know the way he was saying it is a really dramatic thing, it's a dramatized thing, but like sometimes I think about it. Sometimes I go to bed and I do think like, fuck, like if it was like, today, like would I have been happy with how I spent, even just spent today or whatever? I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, guys, you listening, think about that. You think about it, we'll think about it, and we'll circle back. But in the meantime, whilst we're also thinking about these big overarching philosophical questions, we also went to our lovely little pal Reddit and we're looking at some other stupid questions that people wanted to know the answers to that actually just get more complex when you read them. You read them and think, actually, that's a really good question, and I have no fucking idea what the answer is.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting to read, actually. I'll be honest, guys, I wasn't expecting much. And some of these I thought, wow, you've really got a point. Some of them I had also thought about quite a lot.
Yeah.
The one that I thought about a lot.
Go on,
you know what?
off.
I weirdly thought about this like a couple of days ago. And I don't know what triggered it.
Go on. Yeah, so some of these are just stupid, and some of them are like, you laugh and then you're like, oh, wait, actually, hang on, like, what is that?
This one isn't even... well, I don't think it's stupid. I think it's actually quite interesting. Are we seeing the same colours in our brains, but using this... Wait, I'm going to say again.
I know what you're going to say, but yeah.
Are we seeing the different colours in our brains, but using the same name to them? So, like...
Like, is your blue pink to me or whatever? Like,
so, like, how I see this, like, yellowy orange, do you see the exact same colour that I see? And I know there's ways that I can describe this colour as like, oh, it's quite bright and vibrant, blah, blah, like a warm colour, but I've never known any different. Warm to me is that
it's
tone.
like colour blindness as well.
Warm to you could be a different tone because that's all you've ever experienced within your consciousness.
Yeah.
I find it so mental because I think about it more because of my line of work, like working in graphic design and thinking about colour theories and stuff quite a lot. I always think like, are we actually all seeing the same colours?
I think the only answer is we kind of have to be, because there's just so many people that see the same shit. For example, like, I don't think colour theory could fucking exist if we all saw different shit. But I get what this question's asking though, because it's like that lamp in that corner, I'm seeing that as orange, and you can say, yeah, I see it as orange. But like your orange, it could be my pink or my fucking green and shit like that. And it is really fucking weird. I always find, I've had the same conversation with so many people that I know that are colorblind or partial colorblind and stuff. And I just find that so fucking interesting. In fact that like, they can see most of the same colors and stuff. I got told, I don't know if it's true, but I think it is, because he seems to be right about when he tells me these weird facts and shit. Lawrence at work told me the other day that we were talking about the same thing, because he's partially colorblind.
Is he?
Yeah, and he was telling me about how it's, like the rods and cones, like the cells in the eye or whatever. I think colorblind people, I think he said, I'm going to get the numbers wrong. I think you have like 4 rods in your eyes or something like that, and people who have colorblindness usually only have 3 or maybe even 2 if it's severe. And he was like, did you know that it's possible to have 1 extra, so to have like 5 or 6 or whatever the number of it is, and you can see more fucking colors.
That's
so
mental.
as in like, so we're both designers, right? When we use like the hex codes for shit. For example, you know how like, if you change the number by like literally 1, like, so say it's like, I don't know, fucking HX0025. If someone changed it to like 26, they would be able to see that fucking difference. But like, and I would think, yeah, I'm a designer, I probably could, or if I studied it, whatever, but like just in everyday life, they just see that shit. Yeah,
so like somebody on this same Reddit thing, I've just like Googled it to remind myself, and there's other animals that have more color receptors. So this is a mantis shrimp.
Yeah.
We have 3 color receptive cones. They have 16 color receptive cones. So they can detect 10 times more color than a human.
Yeah.
What?
It's also like,
what colors are you seeing?
It's like purple doesn't actually exist.
What? Because it's just...
As well, by the way. Like, there's no... I don't know how... basically actual like the color waves, like the light waves of colors, don't know what they're fucking called. That exist. Purple actually isn't one. It's literally our brain just looking at the in between of like blue and red, or whatever colors it is.
Somebody also answered a similar question on Reddit, and they're a vision researcher with a PhD in it.
Yeah,
and they basically said a straight up like, would somebody's green look like somebody else's red, so on and so forth. That it might be possible, but only in extreme cases of color blindness. And they go on a big spiel about it. But then they also said, the second question might be paraphrased as whether people see things in slightly different colors. That is absolutely true. Your ability to see red is a little different than my ability to see red, and the maximum sensitivity to a red spectrum wavelength will differ. It's common knowledge in the vision research community that men and women have different color vision capacities. In general, women can distinguish between very subtle differences between certain colors than men cannot. Whereas women might see very small differences between 2 shades of red lipstick, men cannot tell the difference. 2 men might even have a slightly different view of how much green is in the color of blue. It all depends on the exact protein sequences for the color opsins and the relative ratio of red, green, blue opsins expressed within your whatever the hell that means. Guys, she threw in a lot of big words there. But that's interesting. Men and women see color differently.
Yeah, that lipstick example, right?
The
thing is with the lipstick example, from my experience, but I think a lot of guys, well, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm in a minority here. That lipstick color question, you know, when like, I don't know, you're walking around a shop, like a makeup shop,
and you're like, oh, they look the same, but I'm like,
no, not necessarily. I see the fucking color difference, right? My question is, why the fuck does such a minuscule color difference like matter so much? Like, if you're looking for a red lipstick and it's like one tiny shade of red above this one or below that one, I don't know what that fucking means in terms of what's better, what's worse, and also why is there a better or worse one?
Like, why does that warrant a whole new product to be made for like the tiniest shade?
Not even a product to be made, but example, like, I've had girls ask me it before and be like, oh, like this one or whatever. I'm like, I can see there is a physical difference, but for what you're going to use both of them for, it's the exact fucking same.
As in, like, it will look the same.
For example, if I go into my wardrobe, right, and I pick out a red t-shirt and there's another red t-shirt that's a slightly different shade, I'm like, oh, which one looks better?
And I'll be like, oh, they look the same.
You can see there's a difference, but it's the fucking same thing. You know what I mean? That's what it is with the lipstick thing.
I guess the only thing I will say though with lipstick is sometimes people's skin tones, undertones and stuff complement different shades better. So like a warmer red versus a cooler red. Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember what complements what.
Same
but
with
let's
jewelry.
just say let's say for argument's sake, somebody who's very fair toned with red undertones. I don't know. I'm making this up as I go, guys. They might suit a slightly cooler red lipstick, let's say, or like. But again, it's quite minuscule, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I do
really
get it.
is.
But guys, that is interesting, and I think about that quite a lot. But I feel like I've answered my own question, kind of. But I think about it quite a lot. Like, oh, is my red different to your red? But is my yay different to your yay? Yeah, it is actually.
Sake. Right. Now I've got an absolute banger follow-up one. Why do they call it dog food if I eat it too?
You know, I've told you about this before. I won't drop names, but you know who you are. I know who it is. My friend actually did eat dog food once. I told them. We'll keep it ambiguous. I just told them to do it, and they did. Come on now, Chelsea. Come on now. Why are you? If I say eat dog food, why are you just saying yes? Didn't even fight back. Literally went all right and ate it. Yeah. And you know what the funniest part is? They didn't even really dislike it. They thought it tasted all right.
Hear me out. In theory, right? Dog food shouldn't.
Well, it's just meat stuff.
It's like meat and like gravy shit. Obviously, it's a bit like kind of like jellied and a bit grim, but like it shouldn't be that awful. But at the same time, I'm not fucking eating it and being like, not bad.
I saw a video the other day of a woman eating. I really hope this isn't offensive. If it is, cut it out. I think she might have been Polish, and she was literally eating like a meat jelly, and it had like a chicken foot in it. And I just thought, like, that literally is like a cat pouch.
Yeah.
Like what? That probably is really offensive. I'm
is it?
sure.
Why would that be offensive?
Because it's like, I'm pretty sure it's like Polish cuisine. It's this like meat jelly stuff.
Yeah, but it's the same shit.
It's giving animal food basically, and a lot of the TikTok comments had an absolute field day saying the exact same thing. So to be honest with you, it probably is fine. I mean, my friend that ate it is still alive and thriving.
Yeah.
So, well, I wouldn't say thriving.
I was about to say.
Alive. But unrelated
you know who you are. Sorry, I'm only joking.
Food. If you are listening to this, you will know who you are. And this is just one of the many reasons why I love you so much.
Let's be fucking for real. She's not listening to this.
She's not listening to this. She hasn't got the attention span for it. But to be fair, like, neither have I.
Right, let me hit you with an actual one then. It's like an actual
go on.
Stupid question that could be complex. What do you think about when you are thinking about what you're thinking? So if you go like, oh, what am I thinking right now? Literally, what the fuck you actually? Because it's like a loop.
Yeah, because you're thinking about.
You're thinking about the act of thinking.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I do this shit so much in a conversation, for example, or like a meeting, or there's multiple people talking, and I zone out. I'm like, shit, I've zoned out. So I like focus. I'm focusing more on focusing than what the person's saying. So I'm still not paying attention. And it happens to me so fucking regularly. Like in my meetings at work, it happens all the fucking time.
I guess.
So in that moment, I can kind of understand what I'm thinking about. It's almost like, I mean, it's slightly different because it's actually focusing, but it almost feels like, almost like focusing a lens on a camera, how you have to kind of like dial it in. I can kind of physically feel like my brain kind of trying to dial in what I'm supposed to be listening to. But because I'm thinking about doing that so much, I'm still not actually paying it. It's like I almost drown out all the distractions, but then I can't let the thing I'm trying to focus on in.
Yeah, I think if I'm thinking about, what am I thinking about? I'm thinking of multiple things at once. So I am consciously thinking of my train of thought, but then like trying to go through my head, like, am I thinking about this, and this? I don't know. I don't just focus in on just thinking about what I'm thinking about. I'm also at the same time going through, racking my brain, trying to figure out what I was processing. I don't know.
Yeah, it's weird.
But I feel like for you struggle with that.
Yeah,
like you kind of just focus on one thing.
And so it's not by choice.
No, so if you're trying to think, what am I thinking about? That's all you can focus in on.
Like
when I'm like racking through the files at the same time.
The amount of times when I watch a series, and I'm talking watching a series and doing nothing else, I'm not scrolling TikTok or whatever, they'll say one thing in it, and that will make, you know, when like how when you were talking about your dream, it made me think of that BoJack, it made me remember BoJack. When I'm watching the series and stuff, that will like imprint in my head, like that thought that it's made me think of, and then that starts running its own trail of thought. And I'm sitting there staring at the screen, but I'm thinking about that, and I have to rewind. I'm genuinely, for the same part of some episodes and some things, I had to rewind like 3 times.
Yeah, that's
because it's like it's fucking annoying.
For me,
especially when I'm trying to lock in.
For me, I'm the absolute opposite. I'm like the brain rot baby, where I've got like a series on my laptop in front of me with Vinted on. I've got Candy Crush on my phone. I've got like Subway Surfers playing in my head or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm literally like burning my receptors, but still somehow like understanding what's going on the TV.
Yeah.
Even though I am not paying attention. Yeah. But I'll still be like, oh, that was such a good episode. I'm like, bitch, you literally were not even looking at it the whole time.
Have you been watching Severance like that?
No, you know what?
I was about to say, because how can you?
Severance is genuinely the only series I think I've ever watched where I don't even go on my phone. I mute my phone, put it down. You have to lock in for Severance, otherwise it doesn't make sense. You really have to pay attention because
all the details and shit.
Because even when I'm paying attention, things still don't really make sense until you like really think about it. So I can't be there giving it Candy Crush combos on my phone while like
Candy Crush combos.
I need to really lock in for it. But everything else, 100% I don't pay attention for. And that's why I'm bad with watching films. Guys, I feel like I'm the epitome of like Gen Z, like just
you're just chronically online, that's your problem.
Like I could go to the cinema and maybe watch a film that's like, I don't know, how long's an average film? Like hour and a half.
Yeah.
I could do that. But when people start mentioning going to see like The Brutalist, that's 3 hours. Nah.
You saw Avatar too?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really difficult though.
Yeah.
So I also haven't seen the second one because I knew I couldn't.
Yes, you have. That's the one you went to watch. Because I remember you telling me when it came out.
I watched it at the cinema.
Yes. You went to the cinema to watch it and you was like, fucking hell, you didn't realise how long it was before you went in. and it was 3 hours long. You definitely have. I know you have.
In London, I've seen Avatar 2.
No, not in London. Before you lived in London.
I've seen Avatar 2.
Yeah. It's the one with the water planet one. With the whales and shit. The first one, they're in a jungle. And with all the dragons and shit, and like the helicopters and stuff.
Oh,
and the tree.
the really fit one.
What?
Was a fit guy, the fit Avatar.
What, the main character?
Yeah,
what, Jake?
And he flies on a thing.
He's in both of them. What do you mean? Yeah, the one with the really fit one.
Oh.
He's the main character.
Are you sure I've seen Avatar 2?
Yes.
Wow.
I'm not sure how much
film.
you paid.
I don't remember any of it.
I'm not sure how much you paid attention to it, but I remember you went to watch it because I remember you texted me after like fucking hell. I didn't realize it was that long.
I'm gonna go for our text. I literally have no recollection of me ever.
I don't know if it would be on iMessage. It was so long ago now.
You were telling me how good it is, and then I said I'd watch it, and then
You did watch it. I think I remember you saying you went. I'm pretty sure you might have even like, what the fuck? I just noticed on the camera. Look at this shit. That's literally the sun setting, and there's a tiny gap in my blinds, and it's like the sun is literally. Fucking hell, I can hear my own lisp today. It's really fucking annoying. It's not been this bad normally. But
well, guys, I don't remember watching Avatar 2. My point is,
yeah,
sitting through a long film, I really struggle with, but I need to work on that.
You just need to be online less.
How do we even get to that? Oh, the thought of thinking.
Yeah,
all that jazz.
thinking of thoughts.
Thinking of thought.
Let's quick fire through a few more of them.
Okay.
We can do a would you rather to end with.
Next one. What would happen if Pinocchio said, "My nose will grow now"?
I'm pretty sure someone solved this. But yes, it's so stupid.
I think someone said it's based on your like conscious. I don't know.
I'm pretty sure someone solved that before, but yeah, that one was a fucking confusing one.
So would he or would he not?
I don't know, it's like a paradox, isn't it? But
I guess, well, in theory.
Because because the whole thing is, if he says my nose is going to grow now, initially he's lying.
So then it
grows. Then it would grow, but because it grows, it's the truth. So it's a paradox.
So then would it not go? I don't know.
That's why. Yeah,
guys, I don't know.
That's why it's like it's not really a stupid question, but it's a.
His nose is just going to collapse in on itself.
This one is. I know the immediate answer to this as well, but just hear me out. If it's illegal to drunk drive, why are there parking spots at bars? And I know people are going to be like for the staff and stuff, and you don't have to drink when you go there and shit. But like, come on now, like it's a bar. Like, what else? Why'd you go to a bar to do? And why is there parking spots? It's more so for America. There's a lot of like they'll have like big car parks for bars and shit.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you just kind of answered it. Staff, those that genuinely aren't drinking,
but like
designated drivers.
But like big fucking car parks, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And also like, yeah, I guess you can have designated drivers and stuff, but
that's still kind of strange. Fine, next one.
I'm just gonna do this one as our last one to end us off on. But like, this one hits the nail on the head of it. Sounds really stupid, but why does time fly when you're having fun? It pisses me off. I can sit there like working on shit all day for let's say 5 hours,
and you're like still locked in, busy.
And I'm working, and it feels like the longest 5 fucking hours ever. I go home after that, or I'm at home because I work from home, and then I boot up fucking Valorant. I play like 4 games of it, and it's been like 6 hours, and I'm like, those times are not the fucking. You cannot tell me those times are the same amount of time. It makes no sense to me. And I get the whole thing of like, yes, you're not checking the time.
Yeah, but it feels like it goes a lot quicker.
Yeah, the actual time feels like it passes so much fucking quicker.
The other like really kind of well-known thing that people say, like if you're going somewhere, it feels like it takes ages to get there, but then going back home, the home journey always goes really quickly, even though it's the exact same length of time. Yeah. And I think of that in a similar way. Why does if I go back to my hometown, Weymouth, shout out Weymouth, for the weekend, getting there feels like a lifetime. Getting back, it's like I blink and I'm back in London. Same vibe. Yeah, I don't get it.
Yeah, it fucking annoys me.
Flight home always goes by so quick. I'm going to Google if there's been any sort of reasoning as to why time might fly when you're having fun. Let's have a look, guys.
While you do that, another quick one, and I've thought of this before. Where does space stop and the sky start?
Is it not when like the atmosphere? Oh, guys, I'm going to be shouting out words that aren't right.
Even so, like where is that? Because that's above clouds and shit, so you can't even be like, oh, it's like where the highest cloud is or whatever.
There must be some sort of thing to measure it.
Yeah, but This person's put an edit on. What do you say in the edit?
Oh, somebody said, as for the time fly having fun thing, unexpectedly pleasurable events boost dopamine release, which should cause your internal clock to run faster. Your subjective sense of time in that case grows faster than time itself, so that short intervals seem longer than they are.
Interesting.
So there's actually a scientific backing.
Oh, so dopamine kind of dopamine makes it feel... That would make fucking sense to be honest. And I'm a little dopamine fiend, so... Okay, right. Should we move on to Would You Rathers?
But it's obviously just a perception thing. Like, time obviously moves the same.
Yeah, but that was the part I was getting at, because I was like, you can't tell me that it actually feels the same, because it doesn't. Anyway, to end off, we're going to do some Would You Rathers. We might just dive into one and deep dive it, or if we can solve it pretty quick, then I've got a few prepared, basically.
Cool.
This one's actually I thought this was easy at first, and then I actually deeped it. But would you rather have an obsessive, insane person love you or hate you?
Oh.
So I've taken this as someone is so obsessive that they're borderline harassing you. And this person's either obsessed with you because they love you, or they're obsessed with you because they hate you.
I think the issue is if they're obsessed with you because they love you and you're naturally not going to love them back, that will then turn into resentment. So the outcome...
So you'll hate them, but they will still love you.
No, but... So what? They wouldn't eventually hate me even if I tell them I do.
Let's say for this example, no.
Okay, because I was going to say then that would just turn into them hating me anyway. I don't know, because if they're crazy and they hate me, they're going to want to just kill me. But if they...
No. Let's say you don't know it, but nothing will ever happen from it. You don't know that. So you might think that they're going to kill you, but they never do.
They never actually do.
It's just they're obsessed with... For as long as you live, they're obsessed with you because they love you, they're a fan of you, however you want to perceive that. It's good feelings of you versus hating you. Because I'm not going to delve into it on the pod, but I've had experiences of fucking obsessive people basically harassing me, and in a grey area of neither of those things, leaning more towards hate you. And I'm like,
I think I'd go with love.
I think it has
Both
to be,
are pretty
but
shit though.
Both are shit. Because I always think about, especially when I'm at work and shit, and I'm like, I don't talk to them about it, but just when I'm talking to James and Fu, at the back of my mind, I'm always thinking about, I'm like, there must be so many people that are literally I can see it in comments and shit that are where there's a line, and there must be people that have overstepped it or try to all the fucking time.
Yeah, and it becomes this horrible parasocial relationship where they don't obviously know this person, but they're obsessed with these two guys and would do anything to get to them. And
parasocial relationships are fucking weird. I mean, if this podcast ever took up, we might find ourselves in the situation where that is a thing for us, and we'll have to navigate it. But that scares me. People know it, almost knowing everything about you, and you've never met them before in your life, or have no knowledge of their existence. It's
weird.
Fucking strange to me.
I think I would just go with love. I mean, both are really bad, but
because obsessive hate, that
to me that feels more concerning.
Although the love one, is really inconvenient, and perhaps they can overstep privacy things. There's overstepping privacy. If they hate you, it's overstepping security. There's a difference in those.
It feels like more of a threat.
Yeah.
With hate.
Yeah, 100%.
So I would go with love.
Because constant death threats and shit as well. Fucking making loads of accounts and shit when you block them. They would try
and make your life hell, basically.
God,
even if they couldn't physically
hit
hurt
pieces
you
on Twitter, YouTube, all that shit.
Yeah, I'd have to go with love. Yeah,
I think so too. Let's run one more, because that was quicker than I think, and this will round us out to about an hour anyway. This one's really, I don't know what I'd pick on this one. Mm-hmm. Would you rather have mastery and the ability to apply the mastery over any and all scientific and mathematical concepts? So that essentially means you could just fucking make
So anything. You're a mathematical and scientific prodigy. You are amazing. Okay.
Or basically the same thing, you're a prodigy, but so you can create any artistic masterpiece using any medium?
Artistic, because I have more of a genuine passion for it.
Yeah, but like, I don't think if you're like a scientific and a mathematical project, like, you can basically fucking like make anything because you can apply the mastery of it. If you've mastered science and you've mastered like maths, which is basically both things that are like fucking problem solving and like actually innovating shit.
Yeah, true.
You could make like the first fucking like flying car, for example.
Okay,
or some
yeah,
shit.
fair. It would be more impactful to the world and it would probably be more impressive, but my heart wouldn't be in it as much as if it was art.
True.
But I understand that
the potential of doing that.
Practically, the math and science one is probably the better option. But for me, because I think I personally would be more fulfilled at being amazing at crafting what I want to do.
Yeah, true.
It's more of a selfish answer.
No, because I think I would pick that as well.
Yeah, but I do agree
I was
that...
just playing devil's advocate for the scientific one. But like,
yeah,
I also don't think I am even deep in the shit you could do if you've mastered science and maths. You basically like, I feel like at that point, I know obviously no one can ever be at this level. I'm talking like actually like because I think about this a lot as well. This is kind of one of them, it's not really a stupid question, but science is like, is only what we know. And you don't know what you don't know. If you mastered science and you've mastered maths
like
to
everything.
as so like 100% or whatever,
like everything that it is physically like,
and you have all the tools to basically solve everything else. So you could theoretically, literally make anything that is possible, but obviously you wouldn't know what is possible until you find it out.
It is really cool, to be fair. I don't know.
You'd basically be a superhero.
Yeah.
Because there are some like people say like Batman and shit has like that. It's like super fucking smart and all that shit. But yeah, I think in if it wasn't in any medium, in the art thing, I'm like maybe the other one, but in any medium, because I could just like make sick fucking movies, music videos, fucking movie posters, graphic design shit,
and
whatever.
Also,
technically this could be considered like an art. I could make like the perfect fucking like podcast and shit.
And also artistic elements still feed into things that are more like
art's just cooler.
Art can link with like building things and like architecturally and making machinery and
true.
From an engineering design perspective, like product design, in my opinion. I know that requires maths, etc.
Yeah.
But there is an element of art to it because it's design, and so you
maths requires everything.
The potential, there is still more potential than just at surface level with the art answer. It's not just I can make a sick poster. Like,
however, I would be using it for that.
Yeah, but like you can definitely flex that more.
Yeah, make like, I would love to just make. To be honest, when I actually think about it, like, I was about to say like, oh, I'd love to make a movie one day. I actually don't know if I would like to. I would just like to make the sickest movie poster that's ever fucking existed for a good movie. But like, as in making a sick, like the best ever movie, like it would be cool, but I don't know if that would fulfill me that much. Whereas like if I got to work on the best ever movie and I got to completely make like I said, make an artistic masterpiece for like the poster, that would be fucking perfect. That's like my dream fucking graphic design project. I want to do movie posters. Like the Star Wars Episode 3, which by the way, just the best fucking one, is coming back into cinemas in like April, I think. And there's a guy that I follow on Twitter who made the poster for it, and he makes fucking like sick movie posters for like other things and I think he's done some for like Avengers and shit. I think just loads of cool posters. And he made it, and it looks fucking clean. And I'm like,
I'll have a look at it.
I'm like, wow, that one, yeah, that first
he
one,
made
Darth
that
Vader one, yeah,
this,
yeah.
Literally, where do you even begin
like
making that?
It's so fucking cool,
mate.
So you've got like the duel going on there between Anakin and Obi-Wan. Obviously, Anakin when he's evil, and he ends up turning into Darth Vader. So Darth Vader's like the main thing in the background and shit. Like that's part of like the planet and stuff that they fought on. It's such a sick poster. And I'm like, making something like that, my life, if I ever got to do anything of that magnitude, like within Star Wars, my life has actually peaked.
Oh, and you also did different crops of it and stuff.
Yeah, there would have been like billboards and shit versions.
Mate, these look so good.
And it's fucking insane.
I like that it's very symmetrical as well.
Yeah.
That makes me really happy, guys.
It literally made me start putting shit into my Photoshop canvas for like the, I started doing one for Arcane and I started doing one for, I wanted to do one in that same like composition for a game that I like, Ghost of Tsushima, but I couldn't find the assets to like were higher quality enough to do it, so I can't be asked. But anyways, guys.
Anyway, Star Wars, woo!
That brings us to the end of this lispy fucking episode.
Lispy episode talking about guillotines, life and death, Pinocchio's nose, Star Wars,
some would you rather shits and some funny stupid questions. But if you are on YouTube, please subscribe if you enjoyed and drop a like on the video. If you're on our audio platforms like Spotify and Apple Podcasts, please follow us, give us a 5-star rating. We post episodes like this every Sunday at 6 p.m. And other than that, guys, we will catch you next week for the next episode. Goodbye.
Love you. Bye.